Hi and welcome, John Morris Show on a Monday. Glad you are with us. 26 days until kickoff for Baylor football. Counting it down. Practice back on the practice field today for Coach Dave Aranda and the Bears. And another week ahead and 26 days until the Bears kick it off in Atlanta against Auburn in their season opener. Welcome in. Talk about that. Plenty more college football talk today. The great Phil Steele will join us. A lot of you, I know, appreciate his work. Phil Steele College Football Preview magazines. There is so much information in there. It is just packed. Like if you're a fan of agate type and info, this is the magazine for you, and we'll talk to Phil about that. He is so plugged in. It's always fun. There's so much information you can get from him. So Phil Steele will join us coming up in just a few minutes. Otherwise, Garrett, how was the weekend? Anything outstanding come out of the weekend for you?
It was a pretty relaxed weekend, honestly, for the most part. I took Parker over to, actually, ironically, to a park over there at the Bledsoe Miller this weekend. We had some fun, and then just kind of hung out. Didn't really do much, and just kind of gearing up as the last weekend, really, before football kicks off with high school starting next week.
Yeah, that's true. So weekends are running out.
Yes.
That is for sure. So great weekend. We went up to the Rangers game on Friday night.
Nice.
It was Baylor night at Globe Life Field. And it was great. It was very fun. They played the Orioles. It was a great game. 2-1 Rangers win on Friday night. And that will be probably the only Rangers game I see this year that won. Saw the Reds play twice in Pittsburgh, but the Rangers, hour and a half away, only saw once.
The only Rangers game I've ever been to was Cal Ripken Jr.'s retirement tour.
Really?
That is the only time I've ever been to a Rangers game.
That's the only time you've been?
That's the only time I've ever been to a Rangers game. It's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had fun. It was really it was a fun evening, and the Rangers do those school-themed nights really well, and they did for Baylor on Friday. So a lot of fun there. Got back a little later than normal because we stayed till the very end. Tight game. There was a great play in the ninth inning that kind of saved the day for the Rangers to win it by a run. A relay from right field in to get a runner at the plate. But a fun night, and always great to be there. Saw a lot of great Baylor folks there, and they took advantage of the Baylor night. So that was Friday evening, and then Saturday and Sunday, a couple of things to do around home. But it was kind of like you, we're starting to count the weekends, the free weekends left, because there aren't very many of them.
No, not
left.
at all. Not at all.
Yep. So really good weekend, a lot of fun. Baylor football, they did not practice on Saturday, or they weren't on the field on Saturday. They did film review on Saturday. So after going last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then Saturday not on the field, and then Sunday they were back out there, and then today, so this week it'll be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday they won't practice, and then they'll go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And the first scrimmage of fall camp comes up this Sunday. The 16th is the first scrimmage. They'll do two of them, one on the 16th and one on the 21st, and that's headed toward the season opener September 5th. So those scrimmages this year are important for us, the radio crew, because we've got a new crew, and these are the best opportunities for us to get together and do, you can't really do a broadcast of a scrimmage because there's no flow. It's not, it's like the spring game. When we used to broadcast that, it was hard to do because there's no flow, and the coaches just have some things that they want to do and want to get done. But for us, that's our best opportunity, just to get everything wired up, make sure all the equipment is, like we want it, and just to familiarize, like Bryson Jackson, former Baylor linebacker, he's our new sideline guy, and just to familiarize him with, what the setup is like and what he'll hear in his ears, and, the buttons to push, to talk to us, and he's in queue until we, turn him out and put him on the air, things like that. Jeff Gandy, he's a pro, man. He's done games for 6 years for Texas State, so he's a pro. There may be some subtle differences in our setup, so he'll adapt or adjust if he needs to, but probably nothing he hasn't been a part of already. But that'll be fun to get our crew together for those scrimmages, the 16th and the 21st are the dates for those for Baylor football. Not broadcast, but just for our own edification and practice with our crew. So that is ahead, and that is coming quickly. All right, we are brought to you every day of the week by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing. Hey, we've got live shows at the Brazos Landing this Wednesday. Come join us. I'll be there noon to 1, and then Matt Mosley will be there from 1 to 3. So noon to 3, live shows from the Brazos Landing this week. Always look forward to that. Always great to see Mr. Claude and Ms. Becky Lindsay there, and the friendly folks at the Brazos Landing. Man, they roll out the red carpet when we come, and we appreciate that, and they would for you also. So check them out at the Brazos Landing, where I-35 and the Brazos River meet, and they're right across the river from Foster Pavilion, right across the interstate from McLean Stadium. So that is the Brazos Landing live shows coming up this week. What else from the weekend? Baylor basketball is headed back today. They completed those 2 games in Canada. And again, sort of predictable. Here's some highlights from the games. The games are not really the big thing. They played Concordia, and then they played Bishop's College, and won both games decisively. But it was more, and I said this all along, it's more about the 10 extra practices you get leading into a foreign tour like this. That's big in the middle of the summer, especially when, almost half your roster is new, to get those extra practices, and that's very, very beneficial. So they got that, and then they won the 2 games pretty decisively, and then did some team building, some bonding. They had a big scavenger hunt yesterday. So the games were Friday and Saturday. Let me give you the scores from those, and you'll see it really doesn't matter. They beat Concordia 122-55 was the score. Isaac Williams led the Bears with 23.7 assists in that game. Isaac Seliskar, new to Baylor, was 8 of 8 from the floor, including 5 3-pointers. Then the second game, they beat Bishop's University 109-65. So, a couple of decisive wins. Isaac Williams again led the Bears with 21 points coming off the bench. So he was Baylor's leading scorer in both those games. That's a good sign. Caden Mingo, new to Baylor, transferred from Penn State. He scored 20 points and had a team-high 7 assists. And so those are some of the highlights, statistical and otherwise, for Baylor on the floor. But then a big part, and Coach Drew is always going to do this. He's always going to make it a fun experience, a learning experience, and a bonding team experience. And the way they did that, Garrett, again this year, and they've done it before, is a scavenger hunt, right?
They did a scavenger hunt.
Yep, and I don't know details about what they were scavenging for, but I can promise you it was very competitive. You get all those guys together, you add in David Kay, who's ultra competitive, and Coach Drew and all the coaches, and it is going to be very competitive. What's the video you've got for us?
So here is the winning team being announced from the scavenger hunt.
All right, here we go.
City of Montreal, I declare the winner of this scavenger hunt, Sanchez's team!
Hey, Macarena!
That's great. For some reason, they broke into the Macarena.
Why not?
Why
guess,
not? Yeah,
celebrating style.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Ty Beard with the presentation there of the winning team of the scavenger hunt for Baylor basketball. They did something with some boats, like speed boats yesterday also. So that would have been pretty cool. But a good, fun day for them yesterday. More team building and then traveling back today. They'll be back late this evening. Ty Beard there, as we mentioned, Friday on his birthday, which was Saturday. So I hope he was celebrated really, really well. We'll celebrate with him once he gets back. So that's Baylor basketball. They are back, or headed back, to the U.S. of A. today, and it sounds like very successful, summer and then the tour and everything that goes along with it.
No, it really is. It's also a way to beat the heat right now. You want to get
Yeah.
away from this, go up north, get acclimated, have some coolness to your summer as well.
It wasn't as cool as you would think.
Was it not?
Ty said it was like 85 the whole time they were there.
Well, I mean, that's better than
That's
95.
better. Exactly.
And you're
That's
gonna,
better.
yeah, but, regardless,
Right.
it's still nice.
It's a little bit better. It's better than 100 for sure. So basketball headed back. All right, let's take a break. Coming up in a bit, Phil Steele will join us. Phil Steele's College Football Magazine. So much information packed in those pages, and we look forward to visiting with him. John Morris Show also brought to you by Alliance Bank Central Texas. 7 convenient locations to serve you better around Central Texas. They're on the web at alliancebanktexas.com. They are your Central Texas business bank, voted by Forbes 2025 Best In-State Banks. That is Alliance Bank, Central Texas. Back with more after this. John Morris with Garrett Ross. John Morris Show on a Monday, and we'll return in just a moment.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
Summer isn't over yet. Make every last splash count at Waco Surf. Catch perfect waves, float the lazy river, or relax on the beach while the kids make unforgettable memories. Stay in their hotel or private cabins, or hook up with your RV. Located just 90 miles from Dallas and Austin, set on 450 acres in the heart of Texas, Waco Surf is unlike any other water park around. Before school starts, give your family one more epic adventure. WacoSurf.com. Book your stay today and catch a wave.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. And welcome back, John Morris Show on a Monday. We do appreciate your being with us today, coming to you from the TFNB studios, historic Elm Avenue in Waco. We're also brought to you by Kish's Complete Car Care Center, 5300 Franklin Avenue in Waco. Drove right by there driving in today, and man, they were up and at 'em and had the cars lined up and ready to go. They're open 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. for Kish's Complete Car Care Center. They've been serving serving Waco drivers since 1998, voted #1 Waco Auto Shop year after year. Go by and you'll see why. Great hospitality and just the expertise of everyone there is really, really impressive. So check them out. That is Kish's Complete Car Care Center, 5300 Franklin Avenue in Waco. All right, next segment, Phil Steele will join us. We look forward to that. A lot of people refer to his magazine as the Bible of college football, and I can understand why. I really like, there's a look at, is that the national cover?
So this is the national.
Okay. That's the national cover, and then there is a regional cover as well. There's the regional cover that we would get here, and so much information in there, and it's almost like information overload, right? I mean, when you dig in, you look at it, and do y'all know what I mean when I say agate type? So in newspapers, kids, you remember newspapers, there used to be a page where there were baseball box scores and information and all this agate type information, which I can remember digging into as a kid, mostly for the baseball box scores. But I say that to say this magazine is just full of that kind of information. I don't have mine here with me, but, you know, it's like the upcoming schedule for Baylor and how Baylor's opponent, you know, like Prairie View A&M in week 2, what their record was last year, what they did on turf, what they did on grass, things like that. All that information is there, and it's a gold mine of information. It
really is. As a writer, it's a great source of to backtrack on and look and gather information to put your articles out. I think that there's a few others out there, but this to me is like the Dave Campbell's of high school to us. It's the national version of that. It's very well put together, and the way he's been able to adapt as times have changed. You have so many transfers that you're having to accumulate and stuff. It's been remarkable what he's able to do, but it still is the standard.
Yeah, I think he got a break, and all of the people who publish these magazines when that second portal window after the spring went away. Because can you imagine, I mean, that is late in the process when you're talking about spring.
There would be a lot of people who have like material that you have worked on, and then one person bolts and you got to just throw everything to the wayside and start over. So yeah, that's definitely took some time off of his hands as well.
So that was a plus for him. And again, I would, I'd put Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine on top. Both of those are sitting on my desk. Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Phil Steele's College Football Magazine. But Phil is more national. Dave would be obviously Texas football and the Big 12. So two great sources and resources there. But the minutia of everything, I'm going to ask him, who does the research? There's no way he can do all that. He's got to have guys or girls working with him to do all that research, because he's got every school. I think it's 370 pages, and he's got every school in the country, something about them in that magazine.
And then you got to keep it like with which school changed conferences and all of that. There's just so much information. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got like a database of some sort, but you got to have help with all of that information.
Right, and you'll see. So he'll join us next segment, and you'll see. He's just got all this information either top of mind or right there on his laptop, easy to pull up. But he is just so knowledgeable about, I think you could not come up with a question that would stump Phil Steele, right?
Oh, no.
You couldn't do it.
I don't think you could.
Right.
He knows so much. He's forgotten more than I will ever learn, probably.
And he lives with it, and especially this year going into the season, he is up on everything, every school, every head coach, every conference, any of that. But that might be a pretty good game show. Can you stump Phil Steele?
I'd be all for it. Let's get it started.
And I don't know that anybody could. I hear him on a regular basis. He's on with Chris Plank on Sirius XM on Saturday mornings, and that's already started for the season. And that's that's national, and that's an hour with Phil. And people are calling in, and you don't know what they're going to ask. You don't know what somebody calling in, what school or what conference or what player they're going to ask about. And he's got the information right there. It's amazing.
It really is. Like, especially when you get into like the smaller schools and everything, like to be able to draw that, like, on the instance is crazy.
Right. To pull it up on demand is really, really impressive. So we've got that next segment. Phil Steele will join us. You'll enjoy hearing from him if you haven't before. His magazine, I'll let him say it's available at Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million, or at philsteele.com. That's where you can find the magazine. Not everywhere. It's not widespread, but those places I know for sure, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, and philsteele.com. All right, we'll visit with him coming up next segment. Want to remind you we're under 30 days now, way under 30 days till West Fest. This is the 50th anniversary West Fest up in West coming up this year. That is September 4th, 5th, and 6th. The kickoff party on Friday, September 4th. 5 o'clock is when the doors open. Bracelet night, all you can ride at the carnival for one price. Then kickoff night begins with the crowning of Miss West Fest, followed by the headliner Shane Smith and the Saints. Saturday, September 5th, West Fest Parade starting at 10 a.m. downtown West, all day Saturday and Sunday. The Power of Polka, the Randy Rogers Band, all weekend face painting, carnival rides for the kids, as well as horseshoe and washer tournaments. Tons of food and drink. Be sure to try the beer bread sandwiches, a Czech tradition. Sunday, September 6th, it's the shutdown party with Central Texas favorite Wade Bowen. How about that? That's not a shutdown. That's a headliner right there. So that is the 4th, 5th, and 6th of September. Kolache 5K run, the Kolache eating contest, polka music all day, both stages. Go to westfest.com for tickets and more information. This is the 50th annual West Fest, just up the road from Waco. 15, 20 minutes up the road from Waco in West. And it is a weekend full of activity, September 4th, 5th, and 6th. Also, we are brought to you by Waco Surf, located 90 miles from Dallas and Austin, right here in Waco, 450 acres in the heart of Central Texas. Waco Surf, unlike any other water park, stay and play, family-friendly surf resort featuring a wave pool, standing wave, beach water park, lazy river, and endless outdoor activities. Stay in their hotel, their private cabins, or you can hook up your RV out at Waco Surf. Make it an epic adventure at Waco Surf. For more information, go to wacosurf.com. All right, take a break. When we come back, Phil Steele will join us. Phil Steele's College Football Magazine. Prepare to be amazed at his knowledge and information he'll share with all of us. John Morris Show on a Monday, brought to you by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing. And we'll be right back after this.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports, team.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to CentralTexasCattleBaronsBall.org.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Back with us inside the TFNB studios, historic Elm Avenue in Waco. John Morris Show on a Monday. Glad you are with us, making connection with Phil Steele. Hopefully have him on in just a moment. Phil Steele's College Football Magazine. We're brought to you by Richard Carr, Buick GMC Cadillac. They are gearing up for football season as well. They've got their Kickoff to Savings event. Get the best deal in years on Buick. The lot is loaded with Buick SUVs, and they have to go now. Owners of non-GM products save $8,500 on a 3-row Buick Enclave, or save $6,750 on a midsize Buick Envision. Time for a truck upgrade. GMC's Sierras are the best on the road. The 2027 Sierras are coming, and they're moving out 2026 models at big discounts. They've saved thousands on 2026 models while they last. And during their Kickoff to Savings event, all pre-owned cars and trucks clearly marked with savings. And with Car Bravo at Richard Carr, your pre-owned car or truck has been thoroughly inspected and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile limited worry. Bravo for Car Bravo. Locally owned, locally run. Kickoff this fall with big savings at Richard Carr's Kickoff to Savings event. That is going on now, so check that out. All right, awaiting the connection with Phil Steele. Get his information, get the connection here in a moment. And talked about his magazine. So impressive, so much information. Every school in the country, every conference. And I think this is a year-round thing for Phil as far as studying, preparing, and then getting the magazine printed. And then this time of year, just kind of doing a ton of shows that talk about the magazine and share the information that's in there. So I think that's, kind of a 12-month-a-year job, even though it's, specifically focused on college football. They've got the website, philsteele.com, that is constantly being updated. I mean, once the magazines are printed, they're printed, but the website, I think, gets updated regularly, and a lot of very current information available there on the website as well. So really cool information, a lot of it. There's a lot of other magazines out there, but there is none better than Phil Steele's College Football Magazine, and we're pleased to be joined by Phil Steele on this Monday morning. Phil, John Morris from Waco, good morning to you, and thanks for your time.
Well, there's that familiar voice, John, that I always enjoy hearing over the summer and when I listen to a Baylor game.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're always very kind, and great to have you on with us. How has the build-up and the release and leading into the season been for you this year?
Oh, my goodness, John. I'll tell you what. This year I talked to 133 of the 138 coaches out there, going over their rosters with them, and each coach would start the conversation with, "Hey, how you doing, Phil?" Expecting me to say, "Oh, great. How about yourself?" And each time I would say, "How am I doing? I'm doing fantastic. There is no second spring portal window. I don't have to rewrite 138 teams all in the month of May and try to get this thing out of here by June." And the interesting thing, John, is almost every coach responded with, You know what, Phil? We had more of a team this spring than we have the last 4 years because we knew the team we took into the spring was the one we were going to take into the fall. We could coach him harder. We could list a player third string. He wasn't going anywhere. The players could bond together, knowing their buddy wasn't going to leave them after spring, and players didn't have to worry about being replaced after the second portal window. I think we're going to see a better brand of football this year.
Yeah, that's a great point. We mentioned that earlier. That's big for the coaches. That's big for you in doing the magazine also, isn't it?
Massive. It was, having to rewrite all these teams, switching and rewrite each position on 138 teams, all in the month of May, while trying to talk to 133 coaches and update all my power ratings. We actually had some typos in last year's magazine, which surprisingly got through, but this year was much smoother. Thank God.
What's the give us a little background? I know you talk to all the coaches, and you got some guys and girls probably that are working with you. What's the team approach here? How much of that research do you get help with?
I've got 10 to 15 people work for me. We go 7 full months working on this magazine. It's got 376 pages. They compile my team pages for me as far as the players, get all the stats updated on there, the sheets that I send to the coaches. But I do write each of the 138 teams myself. I do it in a 3 write-through process. The first write-through is post. This starts the Sunday after Thanksgiving. The second one is pre-spring when you get the roster, and the third one is after talking to the coaches. But they handle all that stuff with the stats on the right-hand page, statistical leaders, records for the last 10 years, series records. I pretty much stick to writing each of the 138 teams myself.
You got a full plate, a hugely full plate. All right, let's talk about Baylor. Let's talk about the Big 12. In general, you've got a very good national perspective. What are your thoughts about the Big 12 going into this year?
I like it. I think you take a look at the two teams at the very top of the Big 12, which are Texas Tech and BYU. Both, I think, are legitimate title contenders this year. When you look at Texas Tech, when I wrote the magazine, John, on June the 5th, we were sending it to the press. I was about 90% sure that Brendan Sorsby was not going to be able to play. So all my power ratings were already adjusted for that. I was surprised when they announced he would, and then switched them back to where they were when he wasn't. So the fact Sorsby's not there does not affect my outcome at all. I actually have him favored in all 12 games. Their 2 toughest road games are at Baylor and at Cincinnati. I like what McGuire's done. Of course, having all that NIL money sure helps. But you look at the defensive front 7, I think you got 6 guys that are NFL caliber. Offense, they've got one of the best running back rooms in the country. In fact, Coach McGuire, I was talking to him about Cam Dickey and Jacoby Williams, who both returned. He was probably most excited about Quentin Joyner, who missed last year with injury. That's a 3-headed monster they got there, plus a veteran offensive line. They are loaded. And then BYU, going over the roster with Coach Sataki for the 11th straight year. I actually feel this is by far, or is his best team, I should say, that he's put on the field in his 11 years. They are big up front on the offensive line, big in the defensive front 7. They've got Bear Bachmeyer and L.J. Martin back, and they don't play Texas Tech during the regular season. But there is good depth in the Big 12. I think when you look at teams like Utah, Houston, Arizona, TCU, those are all legitimate Big 12 title contenders. So I think it's going to be a great year for the Big 12.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it for sure. Where would you slot Baylor? Where do you think Baylor fits in, at this point in the preseason?
I've got a middle of the road in the Big 12 this year. And, it was interesting talking to Coach Aranda, the things you learn. I mean, first of all, I always love my conversations with Coach. He's very philosophical. But one thing that he brought up was that last year he was still learning as a GM. And what I mean by that is he said he probably spent too much money in the wide receiver room, didn't spend enough on the offensive line, defensive line. He corrected that this year. I think the offensive line and defensive line are both going to be stronger this season. Remember last year, I expected the running back combination of Pendergrass and Washington to be dynamic. Pendergrass, of course, missed the year. Washington got off to a great start, but then was limited down the stretch. I like the running back room with Pendergrass, Knighton, Turner. As mentioned, the offensive defensive line should be stronger. DJ Lagway is a guy that, was banged up heading into last year at Florida, missed a lot of practice time. I think that affected his season. I'm looking for DJ to go back to being that type of Heisman contender that he was regarded as heading into last year. They need to get off to a great start because the end of the schedule, you look at those final 3 games at BYU, home to Texas Tech, at Houston, probably be an underdog in all 3, but the potential's there for a better start. And, Coach Aranda, I like what he did on defense, bringing in Joe Klanderman coming in from Kansas State, bring a couple of Kansas State guys with him. I believe there's 5 coming up with them from K-State. So I think the defense will be improved, the line of scrimmage improved, and I'm pretty optimistic that Baylor can at least get back to a bowl game, if not higher than that.
Yeah, that's great assessment. We're really excited about DJ Lagway. He's come in, and gosh, he's got such a great personality, great smile, and he's a good size guy, and we think that he fits Jake Spavital's offense really well, and Coach Spavital's offense fits his skill set really well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. As mentioned, Lagway missed a lot of time last spring, missed a lot of time in the summer, missed a lot of time in August heading into the season. There's a lot of question marks on him coming in, and, things didn't go so well at Florida when you fire your head coach at midseason. So I think stepping into this situation, better offense for him, 100% healthy. I'm looking for a big year from DJ.
Yeah, very much so. We're excited to have him here. Season is, 26 days away, kickoff for Baylor, and you mentioned getting off to a good start. We've got Auburn right out of the blocks in Atlanta. That's a really big game and a really good opportunity, isn't it, for Baylor to open the season?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think being stronger at the line of scrimmage is going to help them. Now, I'll say this. Alex Golish really impressed me at South Florida. When he took over, they had a team that had a couple of 1-win seasons heading the 2 years prior, but he laid it out for me. He said, Phil, we're going to do this, this, and this. The reason we're going to be different is this, this, and this. And it all came to fruition. 3 winning seasons. And last year, they were an American title contender. Bringing Byron Brown back at quarterback is huge. This guy had over 3,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing. They've got a familiar face at the running back position in Bryson Washington, who should be 100% healthy this year. He's coming off ankle surgery. They got Jeremiah Cobb and Davenport there. This is a very good Auburn team. I think that's going to be an excellent opening game and probably a pivotal game for both team seasons.
Yeah, I think so too. Really huge, great stage, playing there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, season opening game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Nationally, who do you like nationally to be in the college football playoff and contend for a national championship this year?
Yeah, well, I think out of the Big 12, they've got 2 possible teams, Texas Tech and BYU, which I touched on. Out of the ACC, I think Miami is the best team there. And if you have one question mark with Miami heading into the year, it would be that they have just one returning starter on the offensive line. However, I've been talking to Mario Cristobal since his days back at Florida International, way back when. This guy always develops a top-notch offensive line. He'll have one. They bring in Darian Mensah from Duke. Cooper Barkade is top receiver from Duke. And that's added to Mark Fletcher at running back, who had a great playoff, and Malachi Toney, I think he's a Heisman contender for the fact that, he had 7 passes last year, was one of their top runners, was their top receiver. He's also a kick returner and punt returner. This guy's electric. If the offensive line comes along, which I know it will, I think Miami's got a great shot, and they were basically one play away from winning it all last year. When you go to the SEC, I think there's 2 really top contenders in Georgia and Texas. When I look at Georgia this year, Gunnar Stockton is my under-the-radar Heisman pick. He's 20-1 odds right now. Stockton's a guy that was great on 4th down in the 4th quarter. He had a 16-2 ratio against ranked teams last year. They've got a veteran offensive line, an outstanding running back core led by Nate Frazier. And defensively, all 3 units rank in my top 10. Special teams ranks in my top 5. This is a loaded Georgia team. And then with Texas, I know Arch Manning got off to a slow start last year, but they had just one returning starter on the offensive line. This year they have a veteran offensive line. Last year his top running back had 597 yards. This year they added a 1,000-yard rusher from NC State in Hollywood Smothers, a 1,000-yard rusher from Arizona State, and Raleek Brown. They already returned Ryan Wingo and Emmett Mosley, a receiver, and then they add in a Cam Coleman. Much better supporting cast. Arch got much better as the season went on. If you watch him at the end of the year, he looked like the Arch Manning you thought you'd see at the start of the year. Watch for him to have a big year, and Texas has a top 10 defense as well. And then out of the Big 10, I think they've got 3 legitimate contenders this year. Ohio State, Has got Julian Sand back at quarterback. They've got some guy, Jeremiah Smith, a wide receiver that NFL scouts are drooling over. Their offensive line, I'd listed them above average last year. This year, I rated them number 2 in the country. They got 4 starters back, and they've got a 1,000-yard running back in Bo Jackson. I feel it's the best offense in the country. Defensively, they do lose a lot. But remember last year, like on the defensive line, for example, they lost 2 number 1s, a number 2 and a number 6 draft pick. This year, they only lose a number 2 and a number 6. So they're actually a little more veteran up front. Linebacking core is the question. With Indiana, Coach Cignetti will have Indiana contending again. I'm going to take you back to my first conversation with Coach Cignetti with James Madison when they moved to FBS. They had just lost their second-team All-American quarterback, and I had question marks because the top guy had 7 passes the previous year. I'm like, Coach, you're going to take a step back at quarterback. I mean, you're moving up from FCS to FBS, and you lose your All-American. He's like, Phil, I have an all-conference quarterback every year. I'll have one this year. And guess what he did? And so I just assumed that we're going to work his magic with Josh Hoover, who's a great piece to work with. This guy's got 10,000 career passing yards. They add in a Nick Marsh, receiver from Michigan State, to go along with Charlie Becker. Strong on both the offense and defensive lines. I'm favored in 11 games. The only game I don't is that home game against Ohio State, and I've got that one as pick 'em. I think they're a national title contender. And then how about Oregon? I was surprised Dante Moore, who would have been the second pick overall in the draft, turned that down to come back. Last year, Evan Stewart basically missed the year. DeCorian Moore missed half the year with injuries, top 2 receivers. Those guys are both back. The offensive line, solid. All 4 starters return on the defensive line. It's a loaded Oregon team. They do have to play Ohio State and USC on the road, but they can afford to slip up a game or two, still make the playoff, and if they make the playoff, they're a threat. And then the final team I'll mention is the one I picked for the top, and that is Notre Dame. And when I look at Notre Dame, first of all, I love their motto this year, leave no doubt. So, they got left out of the playoffs last year. They don't want to do that again this year. You look at them defensively, they held opponents to 95 yards per game, below their average last year. This year, they got 9 starters back on defense. Offensively, I rate them, by the way, the number 1 defense in the country with my number 5 D-line, number 1 linebackers, number 1 DBs. Offensive line, I'm on the Joe Moore Award Committee, one of the 21 award committees I'm on. I rate them the number 1 offensive line in the country. I think they've got 4 NFL caliber offensive linemen returning from last year. They've got a veteran quarterback in C.J. Carr, who's the Heisman frontrunner. And then you look at the schedule this year, John, and the schedule is very manageable. It's number 66. The only 2 games that, in my mind, they're not a double-digit favorite, are home against Miami and then at BYU. Now, those 2 teams are both playoff contenders, but I think the Irish are better than both and have a great shot at running the table. The big question for them, can they overcome that bye week? Teams that have the benefit, I'm putting that in quote marks there, benefit from the bye are 1-7. Only Coach Cignetti has been able to win off a bye. I mean, when you have 3-4 weeks off and your opponent just played last week, that's almost a negative factor. If they overcome the bye, I think Notre Dame's got a great shot at winning it all.
Wow, great information. Appreciate that. Final thought, you've got your finger on the pulse of college football as well as anyone. What do you have any strong thoughts about CFP staying at 12, going to 16, possibly going to 24? How do you look at that?
Yeah, personal preference would be let's not make it 24. I think once you get to 24, it becomes a battle of attrition in the playoffs. You go back a couple of years ago, Notre Dame was playing Ohio State, and they had lost one of their top defensive linemen, one of their top offensive linemen during the playoff run. And I don't want to see the healthiest team win it all. I want to see the best team win it all. I do think we're going to see an expansion. There's just too much movement for it. So let's see if we go to 16. But I'm happy with 12, even though Notre Dame got left out last year. I think the fact that they won't be putting 2 group of 6 teams in the playoff is going to make it. I mean, wouldn't Notre Dame have given both Oregon or Ole Miss a much better game than the group of 6 opponents did last year? I think getting that corrected helps the 12-team playoff.
Very cool. PhilSteele.com is the website. Magazines available. Let me get this right. Barnes & Noble's, right? And Books A Million?
Yep. The only 2 brick-and-mortar stores out there, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, 376 pages, John. You get 2 full pages on all 138 teams, same amount of coverage on a team like Sac State or North Dakota State that you get on Alabama and Ohio State, 2 full pages.
It's amazing. The publication is great. It's my go-to every year, and it's a pleasure to have you on with us. We appreciate it. Thanks to Chris for helping line this up. But Phil, thanks for your time, and have a great season.
it wouldn't be a summer if I didn't get to talk to John. So I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks very much. We'll stay in touch. Phil Steele's College Football Magazine. Take a look at that, and there is so much information in there. PhilSteele.com. You can order the magazines there. And as he said, Books A Million and Barnes & Noble is also a place to find the magazines. All right, appreciate his time and his expertise. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll look ahead. We'll wrap things up on this Monday morning. John Morris Show, brought to you by Alliance Bank and by the Brazos Landing. And we'll be right back after this.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports, Pete.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Make this the summer event at Allen Samuels Jeep in Waco. Be among the first to see and drive the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee, delivering up to 37 miles per gallon. Or drive home a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with your choice of 0% financing for 36 months or 2.9% for 84 months. Or save $9,000 off MSRP. Don't miss these incredible summer savings at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
Summer isn't over yet. Make every last splash count at Waco Surf. Catch perfect waves, float the lazy river, or relax on the beach while the kids make unforgettable memories. Stay in their hotel or private cabins, or hook up with your RV. Located just 90 miles from Dallas and Austin, set on 450 acres in the heart of Texas, Waco Surf is unlike any other water park around. Before school starts, give your family one more epic adventure. WacoSurf.com. Book your stay today and catch a wave.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Welcome back, John Morris Show on a Monday. We appreciate your being with us. Brought to you by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing. Live shows at the Brazos Landing this week. Come join us. I know Steve Campbell is tuned in. Steve said his head hurt after listening to Phil Steele.
Hey, that's a good headache to have.
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. You got to listen. You got to listen fast when Phil's talking and sharing that information. But we'll be live at the Brazos Landing noon to 1 on Wednesday. Matt Mosley live there 1 to 3. So come join us on Wednesday live from the Brazos Landing. Appreciate Phil Steele being on with us. Phil Steele. STEELE.com is the website, and the magazine is Unsurpassed. So much information there. There's another look at it, and it's available at Barnes & Noble and at Books A Million, and on the website at philsteele.com. All right, birthdays today. We like to share birthdays. It is Rosemary May's birthday today. Happy birthday to Rosemary. I know a lot of you know her here in Waco, here in Central Texas. So much good philanthropic work by Rosemary Mays. Happy birthday to her. David McNabb, former writer for the Dallas Morning News, his birthday today. And that might be it. I don't have... Yeah, that might be it birthday-wise. So happy birthday to those folks. If I missed you, I do apologize. Anything, Garrett, that Phil said that jumped off, that really caught your attention?
I think I'm not sold on the Gunnar Stockton being a Heisman candidate. Zach Gelb and I have debated that plenty of times. Okay. Zach is on board with Phil Steele in that. I just feel like he's more of a game manager, and they don't have the explosive playmakers at the wide receiver position to put the numbers up. I think they're more like beat you up, running the ball down your throat, control the clock, and time management. I think he has to do some miraculous things to really get into the mix there. Yeah. And I think guys like Darian Minson and stuff will surpass him as far as the numbers that they put up. Another thing, I think the Nick Marsh addition is one that's crucial. I think that's one of the best gets in the transfer portal. Him and Coy Parrish going to Oregon were two of my favorites in the portal moves this season. And then him being really high on Notre Dame. I think that's fascinating. I think Notre Dame's going to be really good. I personally believe, though, that they're going to get a culture shock and get upset when they go to Provo. Ooh, I think that's going to happen. Yeah. They're just not challenged up until that point, and then you get late in the season and you have that matchup, and then Miami. Miami's a home game there, but I think they split. I think they beat Miami, but I think going to Provo, if that game's at night, that's a really great opportunity for the Cougs to steal a win, a signature win. And then I think that's how the Big 12 can place themselves to get two teams in the college football playoff.
That's a good path right there. And that'll be a huge
that would be
game.
A phenomenal game.
For a huge game for BYU, but a huge game for the Big 12
Absolutely.
also. You know, if they could knock off Notre Dame.
Without a doubt.
I thought Phil was not down on DJ Lagway, but he wasn't as high on him as I thought he might be. He's not as high on him as I am. So that's not a knock on him, on Phil at all. But he was talking more about the injuries that he had to overcome last year at Florida. And, to be honest, he hadn't seen him in person, so he didn't know. So maybe that's sort of the national perspective on DJ Lagway. Maybe he's looked at more as a guy who was hurt last year and really didn't, play up to the expectations. So maybe that's good, because I think he's past that, and I think he's going to be phenomenal.
I think that's the great consensus. Everybody's just curious, is he healthy? And then what is he going to look like? Is the offensive line for Baylor going to be able to hold up and give him the time he needs to excel? I think that's the biggest question marks, and a lot can be answered that first weekend against Auburn.
Yeah, true. Yep. So good information there, fun information. Thanks again to Chris Van Deen setting up the interview with Phil Steele, and thanks to Phil. All right, we're going to move out of here. Lord willing, we're back tomorrow. Daniel Sepulveda joins us tomorrow, former All-American punter for Baylor, named on the Sporting News All-America team for the 2000s. How about that? He's the punter on that All-America team. Just one first team. There's no second team or honorable mention. Daniel Sepulveda is the punter. Great guy. You'll enjoy hearing from him. He is scheduled to be on with us tomorrow. We look forward to that. Thanks to Phil for being on with us today. Thanks to Garrett for making things work for us. Thanks to the Brazos Landing and Alliance Bank. Have a great Monday. Lord willing, we'll talk to you tomorrow at 9. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Spring is sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe honestly.